Welcome back to Football Daily and this week's transfer talk. It might be February, but there is some fallout from moves that didn't happen last month, and of course clubs are already gearing up for the summer. Transfer rumours will never stop, so neither will this show. As always, let us know of any gossip you come across by tweeting me at Mike McCubb or the FD account with the hashtag TransferTalk. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel either, hitting that notification bell so you stay up to date with everything we do. Let's get into it. This week we start with Chelsea and Frank Lampard, with the Blues boss clearly unhappy with his club's inactivity in the January transfer market. This rumour though has nothing to do with players being targeted by the club, but instead involves one of their own, as it has emerged that the rookie manager is set to come to blows with the board over the future of goalkeeper Kepa. The Spaniard became the most expensive stopper in world football in the summer of 2018 after his £71.6 million move to Stamford Bridge. But his performances have failed to live up to the high expectations his fee demanded. Lampard wants the 25-year-old gone after dropping him for 38-year-old Willy Caballero for the 2-2 draw with Leicester. The board, however, will need convincing that selling their record signing is the correct decision. The favourites to replace Kepa, who has kept just 5 clean sheets in 24 league games this season, are Burnley's Nick Pope and, surprisingly, Crystal Palace's Vicente Gaeta. 27-year-old Pope has made almost twice the amount of saves Kepa has so far this campaign, and whilst that isn't always a true reflection of quality, the Englishman has always cut a more confident figure between the sticks. Gaeta is older at 33, but until his howler against Sheffield United had been quietly having a solid season, with just the Blades, Leicester City and Liverpool having conceded less goals than Palace so far. But is he the right man to replace Kepa at Chelsea? Should Lampard even be looking to offload the Spaniard? Let us know in the comments below. Moving to North London now, where despite being almost ever present since Mikel Arteta's arrival in the dugout, Mesut Ozil's future with Arsenal still hangs in the balance. And as it happens, the 31-year-old did have the opportunity to leave the Emirates on transfer deadline day. As is becoming the norm for ageing attackers, the German was approached by an unnamed club from Qatar, and Ozil was willing to listen to the offer, as well as Arteta being happy to let him go to free up a hefty chunk of wages. However, with the bid coming in at such a late hour, the Arsenal board blocked the move as their new boss wouldn't have had the chance to bring in a replacement. It's believed both Dani Olmo and Yannick Carrasco were both on Arteta's shortlist, but they instead moved to RB Leipzig and Atletico Madrid respectively. But it can also be argued that if they did let Mesut Ozil leave his home for the last 6.5 years, they wouldn't have to worry about getting someone in for the next 6 months. But what do you think? Were the Arsenal board right to block Ozil's departure? Vote in the poll above. Up to Old Trafford now, where it looks like another Red Devil could be leaving these shores. Jesse Lingard has reported interest from both Atletico Madrid and Roma, the latter being where Man United teammate Chris Smalling is currently thriving. It's fair to say the 27-year-old could do with rediscovering his form, with just 2 goals in 31 games in all competitions so far this season, as well as failing to pick up either a goal or an assist in the Premier League since December 2018. Lingard has 18 months remaining on his contract, and with Mino Raiola recently being named as his agent, has just entered the perfect time frame for his representative to either get him a big deal, be that in Manchester or further afield. And reportedly the 24-capped international is open to a move, especially if it means it would see the online abuse towards his performances start to fade away. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is keen for Lingard to stay, and the club do still have a 1-year option on his contract, but the Norwegian boss has only handed him 9 Premier League starts in just 891 minutes this season. However, it does seem like all parties realise a new start for the attacker is perhaps the best option. But what do you think? Is it time for Man United to let Lingard move on? And would Atleti or Roma make better use of him? Let us know down below. Time to cross the English Channel and talk PSG, where events at the weekend have raised questions about Kylian Mbappe's future. The 21-year-old clashed with boss Thomas Tuchel after being subbed during their 5-0 win over Montpellier, reigniting speculation that the attacker wants to move on from the Parc des Princes. Tuchel, though, doesn't think this will change anything and has attempted to play down the incident, saying post-match that it's not personal, it's just a thing between a player who doesn't want to be substituted and a coach who has reasons to do so. But many others saw it as Mbappe not being happy with his current situation in Paris, having already turned down contract extensions despite being tied down to PSG for another 2.5 years. And as ever, Real Madrid are there waiting to pounce, but it is unlikely they will put up the 300 million euros it will apparently take for Les Parisiens to even consider letting their star asset go. However, it's more likely that Florentino Perez and Los Blancos will take the same approach with the Frenchman as they did with Eden Hazard. Wait until there is just 12 months left on his deal. And that's only a year away. One of French football's biggest prodigies right now is Lille midfielder Boubakary Soumaré. And on deadline day, it emerged that Newcastle United had an offer in the region of £45 million for the 20-year-old accepted. However, despite the best efforts of compatriots Florian Lejeune and Alain Saint-Maximin to convince him to move to St James's Park, Soumaré chose to stay in Lille, where he is halfway through his first season as a starter. And it wasn't the fact it was a Steve Bruce-led Newcastle that Soumaré didn't leave. The youngster feels he needs one full season in Ligue 1 before moving on. And after L'Équipe listed a number of clubs that Under-21 International apparently rejected in January, it appears that come the summer he will have no shortage of suitors. According to the French outlet as well as the Magpies, Soumaré also turned down moves to Chelsea, Dortmund, Liverpool, Real Madrid and Wolves. Three of those sides, of course, being potential title winners this season. So once June gets underway, it looks like Soumaré will be on his way to one of Europe's biggest clubs. But where do you think he should end up? Let us know down below. We end this week with some quite sensational news coming out of Catalonia, where fears are growing that Lionel Messi might walk away from Barcelona at the end of the season. This comes after the 6-time Ballon d'Or winner hit back at comments made by sporting director Eric Abidal in the aftermath of Ernesto Valverde's sacking. Abidal, a teammate of Messi's between 2007 and 2013, claimed that the players weren't happy under their former boss and hadn't been putting in the effort on the pitch. The Argentinian responded quickly, telling the Frenchman to name those players not pulling their weight, and that Abidal should also take responsibility for his own actions. Messi's happiness at Barcelona has been in doubt throughout this campaign, after he admitted during the summer that he wanted Neymar to return to the Camp Nou but wasn't convinced the club did everything they could have done to make it happen. And this January, despite a season-ending injury for Luis Suarez, Barca failed to bring in an attacker and sold both Carlos Perez and Abel Ruiz. Add to that Ousmane Dembele's latest layoff and Messi is left with a misfiring Antoine Griezmann and an inexperienced Ansu Fati for the rest of the year. If the 32-year-old doesn't feel like enough is being done to keep him happy, he may well exercise the clause in his contract to walk away for free at the end of this season. Meanwhile, Abidal is apparently in crunch talks with Barca president Josep Bartomeu, with media outlets now speculating about the Frenchman's future at the club following this public spat. But what do you reckon? Can you see Messi actually leaving the Camp Nou? We're not so sure, so let us know down below. So that's all we have time for on this week's Transfer Talk. If you enjoyed it, why not click on the video on screen right now, as I'm sure it is pretty darn good. Thanks for watching once again, and we'll see you next time.